Hello, this is Mr. Nicholson, and in this video what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about Quizlet, which is this really cool web application that I found. Now this lets you actually create digital flashcards. And before we go any further, I'm just going to talk a little bit about study skills. Now, when many students actually try to study a particular topic, they may have an assessment task coming up. One of the things they do is they like to just rewrite their notes. And let me just tell you that that's a really ineffective way of studying. The one thing you're going to guarantee is not that you're going to learn something, but the thing that you're going to guarantee is that you will get a sore hand. You are far more better off to actually make a summary where you are actually reducing the work in your book to a smaller, more compact form. And even more so, you are far more beneficial to actually do something like create something with the work, like a set of study cards. Okay? And so if you are creating a set of flashcards to actually work from, in addition to actually doing practice problems, you are doing what is known as high value study. And it is something I encourage you to do for all of your assessment tasks and your subjects in general, not just science. Now, so looking at this web app just here, you can access it at quizlet.com. That's Quizlet.com. And this is the main page here. I have yet to log in just here. But what it's actually showing here is a map of people currently publishing study sets. And what you'll generally find is about 40 million people use this website per month. So there's a lot of publicly available study sets. For example, if I just type into the search bar at the top here and type science into the top, we get a really quite nice set of terms just here that come up just here. And you can access these. For example, I'm just going to choose this ecosystems one here just to show it to you. Alright, this is really, it's a nice beautiful one just here. And what they've done is they've got their terms along here, their keywords that they want to actually define, their definitions along here, and they've actually inserted pictures to go with each one here. Alright, now these can be studied through a variety of different ways. For example, there is a flashcard, the most simplest way of accessing it just here. And what this does is you can actually, just by left clicking on it, switch the card. And then I just tend to use the arrow keys on my keyboard to quickly move along. And one thing that's actually really nice about Quizlet is that there are iOS and Android apps which let you do this on a touchscreen. Now this is a very effective way of actually going through the key terms for a topic. And what people find is once they get good at it, they're able to go through between 50 to 150 cards per minute, which lets them, over the course of 10 minutes, study a subject multiple times in its entirety. And that's a far better way of actually going through the content of a subject, and lets you take advantage of small amounts of time that you have available to you when you're sitting at, for example, a bus stop. Now, there's a number of other functions along here, for example, a learn function. And this is where you'd have to type in the key term to access that. Animals that eat plants. I'm going to try herbivore. There we go. 1 point to Mr. Nicholson. Alrighty, there's also a speller function that works as you'd expect it to. It's all about spelling the terms correctly, and as well as a test function to test your knowledge of the terms, as well as a couple of game functions. For example, the scatter one just here. I'll click on that and show that to you. Start the game, and that puts you against a time limit for matching the terms, just like you would if you were going to play a card game where you got to match a pair game of cards where you got to match two cards together. Alright, for example, living thing that eats other living things, that would be a carnivore. And or a consumer. There we go. Alrighty, and so for example, organism lives, habitat. There we go. It's all about matching these up and matching up against your time. So, talking about Quizlet, let's go back to the main page and talk about how you can make your own study sets, and that's a surefire way if you're making study sets to match what your teacher is teaching you for you to do really well. All right, with a little bit of practice and going through these study sets. Now you can create a free account to access this, or what you can do is you can sign up with Google. If you already have an existing Google account, and you already do because your student account is actually set up as a Gmail account. Yeah, all right, so as long as you're signed in to the student portal, you can click on sign up with Google and you'll be able to access this without creating an account. I'm just going to do this through my one here. As you can see, I've already been using this for quite a bit. Alright, I really recommend you use it. I recommend it to my senior students and they've found it very effective. And it's something I truly recommend you do. Now, if you would like to make your own terms, what you can do is you can click on create a study set. Okay, and what that'll do is that'll give you the ability to create your own study set. You can type terms in here. You can search for and type definitions here. You put a title in here. And once you have finished doing all that, you can press create and that'll actually create a new study set. And from there, you're able to go into the various flashcard, learning and game modes of the study set. Now, there's a few things you need to be aware of. If you would like your study set to be visible to everybody, you can leave it as default, or you can click here to change it. When you're adding terms, for example, I'm going to just type in a term just here, variable, and I'm going to type it in, yeah, we're in English. Alright, I'm going to type in independent and dependent. Okay, here we go. We can always type in definitions. We can click on the little picture graphic here to insert a picture. We can insert an audio voice recording. And we can also search here against other people's definitions. Okay. And this gives you a variety of definitions that other people have used for this term. That can be useful. It can also be misleading, so use it with caution. All right, you need to be careful to employ your common sense when you're actually doing that, because you're searching through the entirety of Quizlet. You're not searching through just the science bit, for example. All right, and you also need to be careful that some people will get it wrong. But it is a useful way of being able to quickly fill this out. And then you can go, okay, is that the correct term? Does that match up with what I need it to? Does that match up with the term in the context of this particular topic? Okay, so once you've done that, you can then continue to work on here. Now, another thing that is useful, what you'll find is often myself or other teachers will give you a list of key terms for you to make a glossary from, essentially, for you to find definitions and actually create those key terms. Now, doing that as a set of flashcards is tops, all right, because you can study effectively from it. And if you're given a list of terms, you can import those terms by clicking on this button here, and you can import all of the terms and they'll all be added as individual flashcards for you to insert your definitions of by clicking on that button just there. Alrighty, so that was a little brief intro to Quizlet. Thank you for watching, and I do hope and do stress that I would absolutely love to see everybody using this web platform as a way to improve their study habits. See you in class. Bye.